So, I love Rocket League, and so do many other players across the world. But recently, members of the community, including myself, have been starting to feel the general loss of interest in the game. I was happy to hear Rocket League go free to play last year because I and so many other players wanted this game to reach even more people. And it was great. I had my friends play it. Enough friends to start my own little tournament for them, which I had hoped to make a video on, but I never got to record it, so maybe next time. But nevertheless, it became quite clear to me through them that the game has difficulty keeping players. When I started playing Rocket League back in 2018, I had a lot of fun and kept playing every now and then. But for my friends, it only took them a few months to start losing interest in playing the game. Though some stayed for the same reason as me, which is the fun gameplay and the fun in improving your mechanics over time. But most of them stopped playing because it was more of the same gameplay each time they played. Which is completely fair. When you simplify Rocket League, it's just soccer with cars. Though I and the community know that it is so much more than that. But if the initial gameplay doesn't capture the players' interest enough to make them continue to push themselves further, the charm that makes Rocket League fun, for me at least, is lost. So, how can we keep players playing? Well, majority of the community thinks that the lack of content in Rocket League is the main reason the free-to-play wave didn't last so long. Some may argue that the cosmetic DLCs are considered content, such as the return of some older DLCs like the Jurassic World one, the Back to the Future one, or the newer ones such as the Lamborghini or the Ford F-150. Though I understand that cosmetics are a decent part of Rocket League, as I myself have spent a somewhat big amount of money on this game, just to cosmetics. But to those who don't really care about cosmetics, or are disappointed by the high prices of these cosmetics, the DLCs don't add much to Rocket League for them, which is part of the problem. So what kind of content do we need? I personally think that the limited time game modes that Psyonix have created so far should not be limited time. Like Rocket Labs, for example, was really fun, and I think the community found that fun too. So making a playlist for them I think would be nice, expanding the extra modes playlist from, just the Rumble, Drop Shot, Hoops, and Snow Day would be nice because those are like the extra modes that keep like the game interesting other than the standard mode with no change. So I think the limited time game modes that Psyonix have created so far would be nice to play again outside of private matches, though not all of the limited time game modes can be played in private matches. Another thing is I think a form of community input would be nice because it keeps the content ecosystem alive, as it is us the players who add to it. Speaking of community input, I think official workshop support for all platforms, regardless if they are on console or PC, would be nice, since all the maps that people have made on the Steam Workshop are really good, like Lethamir's maps, or just all the other crazy maps that have been made by people of the Rocket League community, which would be nice to see for all of us to experience, because I know that the console players would like to experience some of those as well. So maybe that can also be another form of content that Rocket League can do. In the end, I still think that Rocket League have the time and opportunity to make the changes to keep the game alive that me and the rest of the community love. And even if the high octane gameplay and satisfying returns of becoming a better player in this game is not something that most of my friends and other players found in Rocket League, they do still want to play it every now and then, and that is enough reason for me to believe that Rocket League still has a chance to turn things around, that there is still a future for them. So I just hope that Psyonix and Epic Games can find a way to keep new players coming back, as well as keeping those players here, because the free-to-play wave, as noticed by other players, didn't last that long as we hoped. So I hope that Psyonix and Epic Games can think of something, and they did recently talk about some things that they want to do in this next season, so I hope that they act on that. So, funny enough, as I was making this video, Psyonix posted an announcement on one of the things that they mentioned in the post that Past Me was referring to. In this instance, they talked about improving and adding to the current tournament system by adding 2v2 and extra mode tournaments, as well as some other improvements to balancing and general user interface. So, I'm really glad that they are actually acting on what they told us a week ago, because there's a lot of people in the subreddit that were saying that, man, you can tell us all of this, but it's up to you guys to actually act on it. So them doing this by taking their step and fulfilling their promises is a good step as, to keeping the game alive. As well as my friends told me that it was quite insane to hear that they're adding more stuff to tournaments because they joined me in playing tournaments, but they recently stopped, for, repetition's sake. But with extra modes in 2v2, they are slightly more interested to come back. So, yeah, I'm really glad that Psyonix did this. And I'm super excited to see what's going to happen in the upcoming Season 4 of Rocket League, and in the future, even beyond that. So, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will probably come out next week, no promises.